So, you want to launch a subscription box and don't know where to start? Girl, you are in the right place. I'm Julie Ball, a subscription box coach, and your host here at Subscription Box Basics, a podcast for new and aspiring subscription box entrepreneurs that want to avoid overwhelm. So grab a coffee, some pen and paper, and let's have some fun. Hey everybody, welcome back to Subscription Box Basics. Over the last few episodes, we've been covering lots of different topics, but some of my favorites being interviewing our boot campers. And so today is another interview with one of my star students. I'm so excited. Today, we are chatting with Dawn Biernat from Teach, Sparkle, Pop. Hey, Dawn.
Woohoo! Hey, Julie. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on here.
Yes, I love your energy already. So Dawn has a subscription box that is serving teachers across America. And we've got a lot in common because we have the name Sparkle in our subscription boxes, and we both love the color pink. So this is going to be a lot of fun, I can tell already.
Yes.
So Dawn, a lot of people are going to be meeting you for the first time. So can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so I have been a teacher my entire life. I have taught anywhere from second grade on up to seventh grade. Through the years, I've been teaching. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I just finished my 25th year.
Good for you.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So I had, recently entered the world of business, but teaching has been my passion, my life, everything. So I live in Wisconsin with my recently retired police officer husband and two sons and a very busy, very rambunctious German Shepherd. So the house is full. Yes, the house is full. So yeah. And then just in the last year or so, decided that I would jump into business ownership. And here we are. Yes.
So exciting. Yes. And so I don't know if you knew this, but my dad is a retired teacher as well. He has 30 some years teaching fifth grade. And just before we started recording this, Dawn met my husband because he popped in the office with boxes and boxes of stuff for Sparkle, Hustle, Grow and for Subscription Box Bootcamp. So he got to meet Dawn. And he also is a former teacher. And so he taught middle school ELA. And so that was super fun seeing the two of you interact. So I've got a lot of teachers in my life. So I know it is a hard job and sometimes it is a thankless job. So let me just first start out there and say thank you for what you do in the classroom because I was not built for that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's true. We often feel like we never do enough. It's never good enough. And so it really means a lot to hear people thank us and show appreciation. So thank you.
Oh, awesome. So let's talk about, like you said, adding CEO to your title. Tell us about your subscription box, specifically who you serve and what problem you solve with it.
So I like to think of my subscription box as a hug in a box for teachers. And it's really meant to uplift and encourage and inspire and to be a reminder that teachers matter and that their job is important. And so each and every month I have a theme, which teachers out there, they love themes. So I know a lot of boxes do have themes, but we really love themes.
Good.
And I curate it around that theme to include all kinds of wonderful things. And being in this now 10 months, it's continues to evolve, but basically it's classroom supplies and decor, self-care, lifestyle items. But those classroom supplies have to be really beautiful and special, not something that you would be able to pick up necessarily at the big box stores.
Yeah.
So they're very unique. And I search out really cute and adorable supplies. And I also seek out other small business owners that are women because I think that's important. And I just love that. And I love building the relationships with those other creative people and makers. And sometimes they're teachers. And speaking of makers, I have started to include things in our box that is handmade or custom designed by myself. It's a new thing that I bought a Cricut machine. So look out, world. Stickers and bookmarks and art prints and cards and all kinds of things. And now it's so funny. I have cheerleaders in my teacher tribe that actually have requested that we do sort of a monthly sticker and magnet. So it's kind of become this monthly sticker and magnet club so that they can have this collection, which is pretty cool because I've got a lot of subscribers that have started with me from day one and they're still with me. So they're my OGs. And I really look to them, to give me feedback and ideas. The other thing that I have in my, as part of my subscription is a Sparkle Squad resource library. Ooh. So I love creating pretty resources. Again, I'm all about just how cute things look and sparkly and happy. And I found this like new talent. I mean, not new talent, but just using it in a different way. I've always been super creative in my classroom, and now I'm starting to like really see it explode in my business. So I create these resources that teachers would typically go and search on Teachers Pay Teachers, a marketplace for resources, right? So I, again, really involve my subscribers. We have a group. And so I ask them, what they need. And I go and create a set of presentation slides for Google or different resources that are printable for the classroom that are not necessarily content-based, but they're just usable by any teacher and often will be editable. So that's another piece to my subscription that I'm finding that teachers really love and appreciate. And it's just a bonus. So
yeah, it's so valuable to be able to deliver content beyond the product, because that is an extension. It's a ripple effect. It is creating that whole experience that you want as part of your Sparkle Squad. So speaking of, tell me about, so you have an online community too, right? Is it like a Facebook group?
Yes. And it's funny because I still in my mind have not figured out, I guess is the only way to put it, how to necessarily differentiate between my Facebook page and my Facebook group. And I actually learned about the whole Facebook group thing through you, that you have a group for your subscription box and community. So I started that, but being new and just, ignorance, blissful ignorance, I just started this group prior to launch, but you know what? I think it ended up working for me.
Good.
So that group is still there, and it's almost 700 people in that, just the group.
Fantastic.
Beyond the Facebook page. But I'm still navigating how to differentiate those two things, because you're not going to I don't want it to be the same.
Right.
But it's a lot of work to have.
It is. It definitely is. But I think there's just so much value in those private Facebook groups. For us, our group only has subscribers in it. So like active subscribers. So once a quarter, we actually purge. If you are no longer a subscriber, you're removed from that group. And I know that sounds bad, but we truly treat it as a membership perk to be in that private Facebook group. Reason being, we provide things in there that we wouldn't put on our Facebook page or publicly. So that's things for us like master classes, things that are, special discounts that we can do on software partnerships that we might have. Other special offers, like every single month, we have an exclusive members only deal. So if you are a subscriber, then you get access to that coupon code for our shop. So those are some of the things that we put in our Facebook group that we don't necessarily put on the public Facebook page. Think of it as like this little party you're having, and you have to have that invitation to go to the party. Yes. Those conversations in there are probably going to go deeper. They're, you create a safe space for people to play and comment and connect in there. And so I think that's the way I would look at it. As your page is promotional to like bring in new people, whereas the group is where you're going to have more deep connection with them. Right. So hopefully that helps.
It does. And I'm in a place now where I'm like, I just can't remove people now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have actually gained subscribers because of that FOMO. They've
Yes.
watched things happen in the group and they're
Yes.
like, I want this box, you know?
Exactly. That's a great way to use it. And I know a lot of subscription box business owners do that. Like that's part of their marketing techniques is they have that open group. For us, we have a closed group, but they might have an open group where anyone can join in on the conversation. And that's a great way to, have a funnel, like have leads and share videos or pictures about what was featured in the box. And it can create a lot of FOMO.
It does. And you mentioned that because about posting pictures. So my subscribers love to post their pictures when they receive their box.
Yep.
And it's so funny. Like they have to get it approved because they were spoiling it for people who hadn't gotten theirs yet. But it definitely makes others go, oh my gosh, I need that. I need that in my life. So it helps in that way. But I definitely still struggle with this, like you said. But there's more engagement in the group. And we do talk about more teachery things. The page is more, like you said, just kind of a little bit more general because anybody can find my page. So recently I even did a Zoom meeting with my girls in the group, and that was magical. That was so fun to actually see and talk to my tribe right there on the screen. It was so fun. And you wouldn't do that with people on your page because it could be anybody. You know what I mean?
Well, you could do a Facebook Live on your page where it's kind of you presenting something or whatever. But I love the idea of getting connected with them in a Zoom call. I think that's brilliant. It
was so fun. And we talked about lesson planning and they were like, let's pick a different topic for next time. So, it's become where it's not just about the box. It never has been. And my mind is just opening up with the possibilities. It's just so much fun.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So let's take a step back and let's talk about your launch. You had a pretty solid launch, if I remember. So tell us your launch story. Like, how did you come up with the idea? When did you launch? And then tell us a little bit about what you did to prepare.
Well, I do have to preface all of this by saying I literally could not have done this without you. So I just got to put it out there. Honestly, you gave me in Subscription Box Bootcampers such a step-by-step plan, pathway, blueprint, whatever you want to call it. Remember, I've been a teacher my entire life. I don't know jack about business. So for all of you out there, it can be done and you can do it well, but it's not easy. And there were so many times that I got stuck, in having the Subscription Box Bootcampers group was just a lifesaver. And I remember, Miss Julie, the tears that I shed and reaching out to you, and you would do a little loom, or you would just give me exactly what to do next. And I would email you or message you or whatever, but I couldn't have done it without this program. And it came across my radar at just the right time. This was back in February of 2020, right before the whole COVID thing. Mm-hmm. So I believe, and I believe I came across you in an ad, a Facebook ad, but I didn't have the idea of a subscription box locked down yet. Mm-hmm. I just knew I wanted to create something of my own. I wanted a creative outlet and I wanted to build something that was mine. Mm-hmm. So I got into the Subscription Bootcampers course, went through like the good student that I am, module by module. I printed out all the little forms and calendars and just did the checkoffs and all the things. And I literally followed everything you said. It was like you were holding my hand, but you weren't physically.
Excuse me while I cry.
I see her tearing up. So I'm
so happy.
I'm just serious, and I need you to know that. And I'm sure I was, sassy and frustrated at different times, and
we all are.
Right, that's just part of it, right? And I'm glad you just embraced that, So that was February or March. I didn't launch until I put it off because of what was happening.
Sure.
we got kicked out of our physical schools to go virtual.
Right.
And I needed to end that school year, and I needed to be focused and all in with that. So I was slowly then going through the modules and the things, and slowly building an audience. And so finally I was like, well, then I had extra time too, because we were virtual. So I had a little bit extra time. So I thought, I've got to launch. So I've got to get serious. And here's the thing. I did not want to launch to crickets. I just didn't personally.
Nobody does. Yeah.
You'll hear different advice from different people, and they say, just do it. One person is great, then 5, then 10. I just needed to have like a decent number, or I just didn't want to do it. It's just my overachiever self.
That's fair. No, right? I feel you.
So come July, I ended up doing, putting money behind a Facebook ad and had a giveaway. And that giveaway, and I have to give a shout out to Becky Burgess, because she helped me do that.
Yes, she's our Facebook ads girl as well. Becky from Splash Owl Media.
Yes. And that's the other thing with connecting with Julie. Then you connect with this person and this rock star and this, there's so many. So I did the Facebook ad for 30 days. I put $10 a day, $300. I thought that would be worth it if it went the way I wanted it to. Sure. Meanwhile, I was starting to put those people, and I know this probably isn't necessarily what everybody does, but I started that group. And I started to put them in this Facebook group and build relationships with them, and just get on and do lives and talk about my box and the vision and what they can expect. I even ordered one box and went out and purchased some things that were similar to what I would have in the box. Right. And I did a mock unboxing.
Nice.
It was actually so fun. And there was such momentum happening. Right. I was exhilarated. They were on fire. The people that started to get into this group through my giveaway and Facebook ad that was running. So in 1 month, I grew my email list to over 3,000.
Wow. Good job, Dawn.
I know. It was shocking. It was so great.
So that was between the Facebook ads and the group, right?
Yes.
Kind of working in tandem. Okay.
Yes. And right. At some time during that period, I joined Flowdesk for my email. Mm-hmm. So then I had my email list building in there, right, and connected the things. And so my launch date was August 1st.
Okay.
My boxes were not going to go out until September 1st. And I know that's a long window.
No, so it's normal.
They knew that though, right? So the other big thing, so it was building that audience, starting those relationships. The other thing that was huge for me is I did an early bird special, so that if you join in the first 24 hours, you get XYZ. One of the XYZs was an adorable teacher pen, but you would think this pen was like a trip to Hawaii. They were so excited about getting this special pen. And then I had special boxes created just for my launch. It was beautiful. And it wasn't going to be something I could sustain. And I told them that because it was so expensive.
Yeah.
So they wanted that polka dot box on the inside. It was polka dot on the outside. It was pink. It's back actually behind you.
No, I was going to say, isn't that it right there?
Yes. So they wanted this special box. They wanted that teacher pen. And then I believe I might have also had, which I don't know if I would do again, but a 10% coupon, but only in the first 24 hours. Not knowing how this would all go off. August, it was the cutest thing leading up to it, though. I was getting messages and emails that were so hilarious about that. This felt like they were camping out for tickets to a concert. I had people messaging me, that they were setting their alarms for 6 a.m. because that's when the doors were opening, and they wanted to get those first. Oh, because I limited the boxes to 100 boxes. Now I know that's a big, number to.
No, that's a great idea. We did the same thing in creating that sense of urgency. Yeah.
Yes. So the first 100 boxes would get those pretty polka dotted special edition, I called them, really hyped it up,
Mhm.
and the special pen and then the coupons. So Julie, come Saturday morning on August 1st, a year ago,
Yeah.
in an hour, I had already 100 sold. Like I'd already have 100
love it.
subscribers in an hour.
Oh my gosh.
What?
How exciting is that?
So exciting. I was
Were you just losing it? Like,
losing my mind. I was like, what is happening? So then I had ordered some extra. I had more, but they weren't the pretty ones.
sure.
But I had gone ahead and purchased another set of plain on the inside, but still.
Mhm.
And so I just kept going, girl. I was just like, let's just let her rip, right? So that hour passed. And then basically my month ended for my launch, 175 subscribers for my launch.
That's amazing. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. It's insane. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's so fun to hear that story. And there's so many good nuggets there of like, what I want to just stress is if you're listening to this and you hear what Dawn is saying, you will notice she really focused on growing her email list. Like that is where it's at, because if you don't want to launch to crickets, you need an email list. And so you said you put what, $300 behind your giveaway?
Yes.
I mean, you probably made that back in that first hour.
Oh,
You know?
it was insane. It was it was 5 figures. It was crazy.
That is crazy. I love it. I love it so much. So we're here like both of us are, feeling very emotional. This is reliving a very exciting moment in your life and in your business, your new CEO role. Let's have a little reality check. Not everything was easy, I'm sure, right? I'm sure you had some challenges. So tell us maybe about one of the challenges that you faced during your launch.
Well, the 2 things that come to mind right away is my launch was in the summertime, right? And I had to go back to school. In fact, we shipped our boxes the first week of me going back to school in a new grade and a new school.
Ooh, I know what that's like.
Yes.
I know what that's like. There's a lot of work to set up a classroom and get new lesson plans. Oh yeah.
Yes. And we were in full on COVID.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, it was the perfect timing and it was the worst time. It was the perfect timing because teachers needed this. I knew that teachers needed this. And the feedback that I was getting just through July, the sweet emotional messages and emails that I was getting, like, thank you for doing this. Your heart is so big and you're just taking care of us and, loving on us. And it was just really emotional. And I cried a lot of happy tears of the different feedback I was getting. But it was also a really, really difficult time because I had just started the school year. So my biggest challenge, and what continues to be my biggest challenge, is time. It's hard having a full-time teaching job because of the nature of how spread thin I feel all the time. And having a business, especially when you're not a business person, you don't have that background. I felt like a lot of times I had questions that were just so embarrassing because I just was so new and green, Yeah. So time was a big challenge for me and still is. And tech is a big challenge and currently and was then. I remember one of the big meltdowns I had that I reached out to you was setting up my Crate Joy with my Stripe. And it was rough and it wasn't working. And I finally, God sent me an angel because I reached out to Stripe. I picked up the phone and had to actually speak to somebody and they got it all figured out. And I remember crying on the phone to her. She's probably like, well, sister.
No, it's okay. I've cried to my accountant. I've cried to a lot of my vendors. It's okay.
I remember you telling your story about crying to your accountant. So
and with your Stripe situation, normally it's really easy to set up Stripe. So you had a unique situation there.
I did.
Normally it's easy to get that stuff set up, but I felt for you because you were just running in circles. But I mean, welcome to entrepreneurship, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So time and tech have been a challenge. The other challenge, I want to be completely transparent with everybody who's listening. yes, I had an amazing launch right out of the gate, but I look back and in retrospect, I mean, I don't regret anything, but I just want to say, um, having a huge successful launch might not be the best thing, because then the pressure's on to continue to grow when, you know what, I wasn't prepared to grow and teach full time. And so I've hit a plateau. And
Mhm.
so, and we all have cancellations. So as I was having cancellations, I had to really pedal hard to try to fill those. And I,
Mhm.
not, again, being inexperienced, it was frustrating and heartbreaking. And is this going to work? And maybe I shouldn't have had such a good launch, because now I'm in this position. And so there's a lot of self-doubt that happens.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And I,
for me, I just seek out more people that know better than I do.
Yeah, I think I was going to say it's like when you hit plateaus, you have to really think about what marketing techniques have you not done. But if you're already spread thin, how do you even do that? So do you still pack the boxes yourself at your house?
Yes, my husband helps me. It's me,
Hmm.
myself, and I, and then for the whole business, everything. And then he helps me during that packing shipping week. So we have an
Yeah.
awesome setup at our house. Our basement is massive and it's wonderful. And we bought those big long tape folding tables, and it's
Yeah.
fun. We play music and have some wine and pack the boxes.
Yeah,
And
it can be fun. It part of that though, in what I've experienced is when people hit the plateau of being spread thin, that's when you need to start thinking about outsourcing. And a lot of times people that will outsource that packing and shipping. And it sounds like you have a good situation that that's not there for you. So maybe there would be other things that you would be able to outsource to free up a little bit more of your time.
right.
But every single time we hit a plateau, that's like my red flag saying, stop putting all your eggs in one basket. Like in March, when was it March or April when the
Yes.
iOS changes happened in Facebook, we were putting a lot into Facebook ads, putting a lot less time and effort and money into other places like Pinterest and the blog and Facebook
Yeah.
Lives and stuff like that. And so we really, our acquisition went down, to be very honest with you, when those changes came into play, because the performance of our Facebook ads dropped. And
Yes.
so that was my immediate red flag. I'm like, okay, what channels should we be working at? Like, where does my audience hang out? Where should I be investing time into? And so we started doing some more Pinterest, and we started adding blogs and stuff like that. So, but it's hard when you're spread thin. There's no
Well,
doubt
and
about it.
it's hard too when there's so many things that you can do and you
Mhm.
can't pay everybody. Like it's also
Right.
financial, like you can't, so when you're small still, right? And
Mhm.
so you're trying to learn, like I'm a passionate learner, like, but sometimes you can go down the rabbit hole and like
Oh,
you
for
said,
sure.
trying to learn Pinterest, trying to learn Facebook ads, trying to learn. So you do have to, I mean, I still don't have it down. Obviously, like I'm still learning. It's only, I'm hitting 10 months right now, but you're
Mhm.
absolutely right. And then during the school year, the brain capacity. I mean, I teach all day long, then I
Right.
come home and what? Now I'm supposed to blog,
Show up and like show up live and stuff like that.
right? And I'm
Yeah, I
spent.
agree. No, I agree. There's no doubt about it. That stuff is tough. I think the biggest thing that to reflect on what's worked for you in the past is continuously fueling that email list,
Yes.
because that's, continuously putting new people in there. You can make them new offers. The list isn't going to get stale. And so having something humming along in the background, into your, fueling your leads, filling
Yeah.
that sales funnel, they call it. I think that's really important. And it's okay to do, and I don't know if you do many giveaways, but it sounds like they like giveaways, because if you got that much traction at launch, you can do giveaways anytime throughout the year. And I would suggest that, like, figure out, is, spring break, is that a good time to do a giveaway, because teachers might have some time off, or, you know, um, in the summertime, we experience a summer slump. And I don't know if you've experienced that in your business yet, but a lot of people have other interests where they're going to spend their money on vacations and spending time with their family. That would be a really good time to focus on list building. That's what we're doing in the summer. We're doing a lot of list building.
Mhm.
And so just kind of in reflecting on what we've talked about, that's what my recommendation would be.
So it's funny you say that because I am basically recreating my launch from last year
Perfect.
right now. So I went to a closed cart model
Okay.
because of the whole inventory thing. And I was overbuying or underbuying,
Sure.
it's hard.
Yeah.
So right now it's closed but I'm going to do going to do it exactly the same because I'm like, if I did it then I can do it again. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned so much. So I'm going to do the same thing. August, run the giveaway, lead into open cart, close it. That's also a sense of urgency. Like we're closing until, whenever, and then see if that's going to really grow my business.
Yeah. I love it. You'll have to keep us posted.
I will for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So this is a question I always like to ask my boot campers. I love the subscription box industry. Like that's what we live and breathe. My whole family does. So what's one of your favorite things about working in this particular industry, subscription boxes?
Wow. That's a great question. So many things.
Yeah.
I love literally putting the boxes together. Like I love that, curating them, shopping for my tribe, picking out things that are going to go together with color and theme and all of that, like creating. That's just a thing I have. It's a creative.
It's so fun.
It is. It's so fun. And the other surprising thing is, and that I love about the subscription box business, is the relationships that you do build with your people. It's crazy. Like I know their names. I know some of them have kids. I know. And in fact, I'm starting a new program with my box where every month I'm doing what's called teacher feature. Ooh. And so they fill out a Google form, my subscribers. I ask them some questions. I do a little write-up on an insert. They send me some photos. I put together this really cute insert that tells about them and their teaching and their family and just things about them. And then they go in the box. Now they get added benefits to volunteering to do that. They'll get a gift card of their choice for $10 to Starbucks, Target, Michael's, and TPT. And then they're going to get bonus items in their box for that month that they're featured.
Wow.
So it's another just relationship building, empowering teachers, letting them get to know each other. I think there's just excitement like, ooh, I'm August box teacher.
Yes.
Feature. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking like, I love that. And there's two things that immediately came to my mind is, do you list excess inventory in your shop?
I do, but
you could do a credit to your shop instead of sending them to Target or Michael's. Give them a $10 credit to your shop, and then they get into the habit of shopping with you.
Okay, you're going to we'll have to talk about how I actually do that. That's great.
We can. Oh yeah, for sure. And number two, that form that they fill out.
Yes.
Use that as a blog post too. And that will help with your organic marketing.
Oh, and I love that because I can't fit everything that I asked them.
Yeah. And then you post about it on social media and link back to your blog post. So the whole thing is like repurposing all this content.
Because I already had thought I was going to post the cute insert with their picture and their, on there, because I don't put their last name on there, obviously. So I thought, that would be so cute for social media, but yes, I need all of that. That's great.
And that won't take long too. Like for a blog post, whatever form you're using, just copy and paste it.
That's a great idea.
Ooh. And if you take it one step further, you can make a pin for it and then pin it on Pinterest and point it back to your website.
Beautiful. All right.
There's your content plan.
Yes. I wasn't taking notes, but maybe I need to.
Well, you could listen to your own episode and take notes when it comes out.
There we go.
So awesome. I love that. That was super fun just jamming on that.
Yes.
Okay. So you've had a really great launch. You are, like you said, you're a lifetime learner. So a lot of, obviously the people who are listening to this podcast are either new or aspiring subscription box business owners. They're at that stage where you were 10 months ago. So what's one piece of advice you can share with them?
One piece of advice I can share right away is what we've already talked about, is please build your list.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that.
Yes. I'm telling you, from one success story to another, because you will be a success if you do this. Like there are so many beautiful box concepts out there in boxes. So that's not, I mean, everybody has their own gifts and talents in putting that together. So to me, it's, yes, you have a great product, but you've got to build your audience and your email list, really. Audience, I don't mean like Instagram followers and that sort of thing. And that's cool too. And I still try to do that. But that email list, like you talked about, Julie, is just golden.
Yeah.
So that's my piece of advice for number one, is just to build that list.
Brilliant.
And the other couple things, just real briefly, I want to say is don't compare and don't give up.
Good point.
Oh my goodness. Have I felt many times on both of those issues that I wanted to just say, okay, I'm not doing this. But what you can do is think of it like this. Don't stop or don't give up, but pivot. Reach out to people, because we're all out here to help, right? You just have to find your people. And there are people who can change the game for you. And so don't give up, just pivot, be open, and look around you. There's so much support out there. And the other thing is not to compare. And that is so hard for me, seeing these people who have thousands of subscribers, but it's like, yes, and they have been in business for 20 years.
You know what, though? It's not even about that. It's, what is your version of success? For me, my version of success is not having thousands of subscribers, because that sounds super stressful.
Yes.
For other people, having thousands of subscribers and scaling, like that's their goal. That's their version of success. So, I've talked about this on podcasts in the past, but, think about, what does your version of success look like? And that's what you just stay focused on, and not compare yourself to the others.
Yes. Stay in your lane.
Yeah. And be unique. Yes. Awesome. Well, this has been so much fun chatting with you. I love your energy. I love your box. I know a lot of people are going to want to look you up. So where can they find you online?
So my website is teachsparklepop.com, and same on Facebook. And then Instagram, you just have to put periods in between the words. So it's teach.sparkle.pop.com. Yeah.
Okay. Well, make sure we put that in the show notes too, so that they can follow you.
Awesome.
Well, it's been such a fun time, and I appreciate you. I'm super proud of you. And thank you for sharing your story and all your advice with our listeners. I really appreciate it. So if you're listening and you're interested in Dawn's Teach Sparkle Pop box, make sure you check out the show notes and follow her. And I am just so excited to see where you go after this new launch. So again, keep us posted, Dawn.
I sure will. This is a journey.
Yes, it is. Exactly. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you. If you have a chance, make sure you follow, rate, and review this podcast so we can reach more people just like you. And I'll see you in the next episode.